Welcome to the Kdrama Show. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kim.
We're here to unpack your all-time favorite Korean dramas and chat about all the reasons that we find these shows so charming.
And so addictive. And we know you do too, so settle in with some ramen and a boba tea while we dive into the Kdrama Show with Ashley and Kim.
I've been there longer.
Okay, so
welcome back.
Back with episode 10. You have a K-drama, KCulture tidbit for me.
Yes. So the headline that I found says Blackpink renew contract with agency amid split rumors. Now,
yeah, okay, all right.
I did not know that their contract had
Neither did I.
come to its end. So I guess their contract ended in August.
Okay.
Like their previous contracts that they had.
Right.
And because then it was wondering if they were all going to just pursue individual.
Was it a 5-year previously? I don't remember.
Well, they debuted in 2016, so
Okay.
yeah,
7
5 to 7 years. Because I don't know if there's been any renewals in
True.
between.
Yeah.
I don't know that information. But so basically, like, it's December now, and so they waited a few months.
Yeah, they kind of
To
maybe tested some waters or something.
maybe see if there was other things they wanted to do. I don't know. But like one of the things that I've read, like all of the different people that have like responded about it, one was like, I had to confirm this on multiple places to make sure that this was true.
Right.
And because, everybody's super excited. But so yeah, they are going to continue to be Blackpink.
Well, for all you blinks out there, that's some happy news.
That is some happy news. Also, I guess last month they went and saw the King and Queen, Queen Consort or whatever Camilla's title is in England. Like they were given MBEs by King Charles. Don't ask me what that means. I have no idea. We're not English. So, but yeah, they all received something from King Charles.
So they were
and
all kind of honored by...
They were all honored. So they were all together. But I guess I didn't know that their contracts had expired. So, but that's exciting that they are renewed, because that was actually my introduction to K-pop was Blackpink.
Yeah?
And so, I mean, I'm not a diehard,
Not a diehard blink.
not a diehard Blink. I am ARMY all the way. But that doesn't mean I don't find other groups
Right.
that I like and appreciate. So yeah, that is my fun KCulture tidbit for this episode, is that...
So I just looked it up. It's basically like the lowest version of being knighted.
Oh, for the MBE from King Charles. All right.
So you're a member of the Order of the British Empire. So that's the MBE.
Okay.
Achievement or service in and to the community, which is outstanding in its field and has delivered, sustained, and a real impact, which stands out as an example to others. So the grades are Knight, Dame, Grand Cross, which is a GBE, the highest, I believe. Okay. The Knight, Dame, Commander, the officer, and then the member. So it's kind of like an honorary position.
Well, cool. Good for them. That's
cool.
Except when I get mine one day, I want it from Queen Kate. So
when we receive,
because I want to meet her. She is a fashion icon.
Yeah, she kind of is.
She's stunning always.
I'm always so amazed at how people in the royal family will literally birth a child and then not 10 hours later be standing in full dress, looking fantastic.
For the world.
For the world to see, holding that child. I don't know that, anyway. We won't go there.
But, so Blackpink. Yay.
Good news for the blinks around there.
Yay, blinks.
All right, well, should we jump into episode 10? Catch us up from last time.
Ooh, okay.
Miss Ashley.
Kim MiSo and YeongJoon are officially dating.
Yes.
It is, as Kim said last episode, it is Facebook official.
Facebook official.
Oy. We had some miscommunication or lack completely thereof.
Yeah.
Between the two, but then they figured out how to communicate and like, hey, we don't want to be awkward with each other and this
We've
funky...
got to figure out how to do the thing if we want to make it work. Otherwise, this is going to fail.
Right. And figuring out how to communicate outside of their work positions.
Yep.
As actual man and woman, not just boss employee.
Boss employee,
we had JiAh move into her new place.
yes.
And GwiNam, who we just cannot stand right now.
Might have a little bit of a redeemable quality, but we haven't really seen where that's gone yet.
We just...
He has yet to prove himself worthy.
Yes, he's driving me nuts. Don't just give me 5 cherry tomatoes, my friend.
I will say, though, I did munch on some cherry tomatoes before I came downstairs after.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Tomatoes are great. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Just doesn't, I mean, on the list of things that I would like to receive in appreciation from people, I can't say it's really high up there.
Or if you're going to give me some, give me a whole bunch of them, not just 5.
Not just 5 in a plastic baggie from your drawer.
Right. But then
MiSo and SeongYeon.
MiSo and SeongYeon. Ugh.
They're officially
Finally
cut off from each other.
Yeah, she tells him, you made me uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And YeongJoon also tells him, she's not your concern anymore.
Yeah.
Move on.
Right.
The two of them go on a little mini date. They go for a cute little walk. He brings her a sweater because she gets cold. Mentions how he looks exceptional in burgundy because that's what he's been told.
Oh, yeah.
He's super tired because he's catching up on years of lost sleep. Takes a short little nap in the car, and while he's doing that, MiSo is having flashbacks to the conversation she'd had with his mom.
Amongst other things.
Amongst many other things. We're having some recovered memory.
Mm-hmm.
And while he is asleep, she calls out for, you're going to have to say the name for me.
SeongYeon.
Oppa. Yeah. And in his sleep, he just goes, "What?" And then instantly opens his eyes and is like, literally that's that moment. And MiSo's like,
horrified.
What?
Yeah.
Panicked.
Doesn't know what to do with this new information. Because up to this point, it was all living in her head. And she thought, maybe I'm just paranoid.
And it wasn't rent-free either.
And this just confirmed her worst fears, that she's being lied to by
everyone
that knows, that has anything to do with this situation.
Well,
which brings us to episode 10.
That's episode 10.
Okay.
And the poor girl, she is just like, did you ever have your name changed?
Well, YeongJoon, he realizes he's been caught in a lie, and he is trying so hard to do damage control.
But he's just like, he literally looks at her and he's like, no, why? Like, I just responded to you out of habit.
Yeah, I heard your voice.
Don't take what I say when I'm asleep seriously. She's like, I don't believe you, unfortunately, for you.
Yeah.
Or me.
Yeah. Well, okay, so if you felt like you were being this blatantly lied to, would you have stuck around this long? Especially after now learning that it wasn't just in your head. Would you still be in the car?
Yes, because I want answers.
But after that?
Yes, because I still want answers. You have to understand, I can take you lying to me because I know you're lying, and I know oldest child syndrome here. I know when I'm right.
Your BS detector is very sensitive.
It's always on. But like, I want the truth.
Yeah.
And I will stick around to find out what the truth is. Now, I don't know what's going to happen after I've found out the truth. It depends on
what your answer is.
Well, not only what your answer is, but if you're going to continue to lie to me.
Yeah.
If the truth comes out and you don't own it, that is when we'll have, like, I don't know how to talk to you anymore.
We'll come to blows. So we know that he's lying. We just don't know why yet, and the extent of his lies. So we're just continuing down that journey. But MiSo actually goes to Madame Choi the next day to see if she's going to be willing to clear things up, because she seemed very forthcoming about
so far, right?
Things so far. And she responds and says, "That is nonsense. I don't know anybody named Hyun." And then she says, "Can you please leave? I'm very tired."
And you're just like, if we step back just a minute, after YeongJoon has dropped MiSo off,
yeah,
he's having flashbacks of the woman. And we're getting face now. We're getting
full context
speaking, like, come with me, we're both gonna go together. It's very, very haunting, very
intense.
He decides, it's when he's like, she doesn't need to know. Has a flashback. Well, he has a flashback of them sitting in the room with the cable ties, and she's crying, and it comes back to present, and he's like, I don't want to make her cry again. I can't see her cry. And so that is why he is, from what we can tell so far,
right,
he doesn't want her to be hurt. He's like, I can't see her cry again, like that.
It's hard because in one respect, you know that it's coming from a place of his own trauma. At the same time, it's not fair of him to withhold. That just, it doesn't feel, especially now that she's an adult, she has the ability to make that decision for herself. And granted, she does have to deal with the fallout regardless of what, you know, she uncovers. But I just feel like if she wants to know, it's her right to know, because it is her life.
Yeah, she was there.
But again, he's not looking at it completely rationally because he has his own trauma.
So then, yeah, when she goes and visits his mom, you see the mom. She
poker faces up.
Yeah, but then as soon as MiSo starts, like, walks out, she's just,
what do we do now?
Well, and she's like wiped out.
It's unraveling.
I've tried so hard to keep this together, and now all of that energy that I have expended is gone. Yeah. Like, she,
for nothing.
You see her just instantly become exhausted. Yep. Which, how could you not be?
Well, yeah, it takes so much brain power to try to spin this web of lies like that, and then to have to dedicate so much energy to keeping it all straight. That's why it's just not worth it. Just be honest.
Yeah.
So on her way out the door, MiSo runs into SeongYeon, and he offers to return the diary, you know, since things have kind of hit a brick wall there. She asks if he's recovered any additional memories after looking through the journal, and he's got nothing to show for it all.
Well, she asks, like, specific questions, too. She's not just like, what do you remember? She's like, do you remember the situation we were in? Do you remember how we escaped? Do you, like...
And all of his answers are just these same regurgitated, very black and white, no... It doesn't seem like he experienced it firsthand to her.
Well, and it's... He paints him as the victim.
It's not anything that corroborates what she experienced.
Right.
And so it could easily just be something that someone that he heard
was told to him.
Right. And when they're talking about the memories, he says that it feels less like he can't remember and more that subconsciously he doesn't want to remember, which I thought was an interesting point.
I even wrote that one down too. I was just like, yeah, that's how you've made yourself the victim, is you don't want to deal with it, except you want everybody to play and cater to the narrative that you want it to be.
But I don't even know if it goes that deeply at this point, because he genuinely seems confused by it. He's malicious toward his brother, don't get me wrong, but his lack of memory itself doesn't feel malicious. It feels genuine.
Yeah.
So I kind of struggle with that whole situation, that, you know, in his mind, he really does have a reason to hate his brother.
Yeah.
Because that's his reality, even though it's incorrect.
Right.
As we've kind of uncovered.
We've discovered. Yeah, he takes her so he can go get the childhood diary.
Asks her to wait in the living room.
And she sees the two pictures of the boys when they're young. And she's
clearly
like,
recognizes one of them.
She's like, that one's my oppa. Like, I know that. And when SeongYeon walks up, she goes, so which one is you? And he points to the other one. And he's like, you don't recognize me? And
oh, she spirals hard at this point.
The heartbreak. I think that's part of it, is she is utterly heartbroken. She's like, okay, you're probably delusional. Whether you're lying to me, whether you know it or not. So therefore you don't take me seriously as a person or as somebody.
And so is everyone else, though.
Yeah.
including her boyfriend / boss that she's known for a decade.
Yeah.
So there is deep trust there that has been like shattered.
And it's just, she's so upset. And I don't know if there could have been a better way for how she portrayed that.
Mm-hmm.
Of just like, I need to get out of here.
Oh, it's like panic attack.
Yeah, like I need.
While SeongYeon's still busy shooting his shot again for the second time.
So
it's just he just is clueless. He doesn't know what's going on.
Don't like it.
No,
but
it's icky.
But now she knows who her oppa is.
She does. It's confirmed. That's all the proof she needed.
Mm-hmm.
So jump to the secretary team wanting to throw JiAh a housewarming party.
Oh.
She knows that it's going to risk outing GwiNam as her neighbor and as not this super put together, rich, classy guy, you know,
heartthrob.
That's got the keys to the business, you know, waiting for him someday.
But also, let's talk about the housewarming party, guys. I know I mentioned it to you earlier. The fact that they invited themselves over, because she was on time, and
because she lives 5 minutes from work.
She's like, it's so nice being on time. I love my place. It's so comfy and cozy.
Right.
And they're like, well, when are you inviting us over to your comfy and cozy place? And that, like, for me, is instantly like, oh, can't I just bake you cookies and bring them and be good? Like, please. And
I do not exist anymore.
Right. I do think part of it is that she's like, I'm going to have to deal with GwiNam and his ridiculousness and thinking that I'm trying to out him when I really don't care.
Well, and I think there is some level of her wanting to protect him, though, because she saw just that glimmer of humanness in him where maybe he just doesn't know how to be a normal guy, you know?
Yeah.
He's worked so much that, you know, he
is socially...
forgotten how... He's socially stunted.
Yeah.
She feels a little bit bad for him.
But then also, like...
She still hates him. But doesn't want to be the bad guy.
I think more... Maybe I'm feeding this. Don't invite yourself over to my house. I have to see you constantly all day at work. Why do I want you in my home? Yeah, this is my safe place.
And I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm in my underwear way too much. But like,
same
danger of you showing up unannounced at my home. A, it's gonna be a pigsty because toddlers, man, they don't care.
Nope, sure don't.
And B, I may or may not be in some loungewear.
Oh, absolutely.
And it wouldn't be socially acceptable to be viewed by anyone outside of my immediate family.
It just that stresses me out.
That's the danger that you risk by showing up in my house.
So that is so MiSo ends up confirming with YeongJoon what his schedule is for the day.
Lets him know that JiAh is going to be the one accompanying him throughout this
and so schedule. He is like, okay, so then we won't be able to be together until tonight. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, so then come to my house. And I just love that she just stares at him and does the slow blink. And he stares right back and does slow blinks. And they're just like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
He's dirty mind.
Yeah.
And it's not that he probably wasn't having those thoughts, but he was like, no, like, I need these certain things taken care of. Like, it is work related.
Yeah. At least on the outside. And then so she ends up agreeing, and then she just looks at him and she goes, Oppa. And he about falls out of his chair. And I love it because he's trying to put his arm on his desk and she calls him Oppa and he just is like, oh. Slams it off and it just... I give you permission to call me that for the rest of forever, basically. And she's like, I'm okay. I just want to say it once.
Just once. And I just love that he was like, should I have recorded that?
I know.
Like, what? And it's just,
so funny.
It's such a sweet moment.
So she shows up that night. YeongJoon had just finished up a shower and walks out in his bathrobe and his wet hair. And there's a little bit of a tense moment. She spins around.
Embarrassment.
Yeah.
I love what he tells her. Do you have it written down?
No, I don't remember.
So he looks at her And he sees her back turn and he's like realizing, oh, like, hey, we're boyfriend girlfriend now. Like, this is a little. And he just goes, because it would harm your heart to see these muscles beneath this gown, I'll go ahead and put some clothes on.
I forgot about that. Oh. You can see he's clearly uncomfortable with the situation too, but he's just like, gotta play it cool.
I am heartthrob.
I know.
I just put next to it, I just put swoon because I'm just like
Seo-SWOON. Park
swoon.
JiAh. Nope. Doesn't work.
Seo-SWOON. Park Seo-SWOON.
Park Seo-SWOON.
But I was just like, man, my guy, like, wait, and that is the narcissism. Still kind of.
Yeah, but you can see it comes from a place of like awkward and not necessarily confidence.
Yeah.
It was cute. I thought it was funny.
That was one of my favorite lines, I think, that he says, because he's just like, because it would hurt your heart. Honey.
I know. So MiSo glimpses his scars again as he's walking out of the room because he's in his robe.
And she's still spiraling.
Yeah, she starts to think, though, about the level of pain that he would have had to endure. To have those kinds of scars. It actually makes her start crying.
Yeah, she's not coping with this.
No, because it's I mean, she's remembering the reality of everything that happened. Because before it was just sort of vague and
right, and now
not
there's
real.
details.
Now there's details, yeah, and so it hurts her heart to think about what he went through. And PilNam her only calls and starts to criticize him again. That's like her only hobby, I'm convinced.
I think so too.
It's getting really tiresome. And finally MiSo comes to his defense in front of YeongJoon, even though she doesn't realize it. But it kind of shuts her up for a minute.
It does. Well, because she's just like, you don't know what he's done.
Yeah.
You don't know how kind and caring and
yeah, you're only getting a one-dimensional view of him when I've had bad days, essentially.
Right. When I'm frustrated at my boss.
Yeah.
Not at the man that I want to be with.
Yeah.
Very different types of complaining that's going to happen with that. I just love it when he walks away and he's just like,
again, misinterprets.
He's kind of adorable. Like this particular one I think is a little more charming.
Yeah. Because
he's just like, how could they not like me because I'm perfect? And I love that he stares in the mirror and he was just like, you need to work on being less perfect.
Be more relatable to the everyday peasants.
And he's so cute in that moment because he's just like, no, like I need them to like me.
Yeah. Because it will make me so happy.
Yeah.
Not because I need them to like me, but because I need MiSo to be happy being with me.
Right.
And this is one aspect of that.
And so yeah, it's very.
We get another aura from him after this.
Yes, I had been waiting for that aura to show up.
He's been plotting how he's going to fix this, right? And he basically just tells her that, I can fix anything with my aura.
And it makes her giggle a little bit too.
Yeah, it's finally a little bit sarcastic from him.
Right. So he takes her home and they're saying goodnight. And she's like, oh, wait, I have something for you. And she reaches in her purse and she throws the finger heart.
Yeah.
And he just stares at her for a second and then realizes. I love the editing that they do with these.
Oh, so cute.
Because, they make her cheeks super flesh, the little lines, and have the hearts floating around. And then when he realizes what it is, they make his, cheeks all pink. And
his heart's fluttering. He's all flustered.
And and she's tickled with herself.
I know.
Because she's just like, I can't believe I just did that.
I know.
And so meanwhile, he's like, I'm going to pick the moon for you. And he goes to, like, give her the finger heart back. And she's just like, okay, bye.
Yeah, she's so embarrassed with herself. She just runs inside. But he still thinks she's adorable.
And he's just like, I can't believe that just happened. But that was the best thing all night.
I know.
It was so... I love that. I love that scene.
That was so sweet. I loved that. It was cute. I'm
apparently,
glad you brought that up.
We need some fangirling in this episode.
Well, it's nice because things are good between them, and
there's no drama happening.
Not really, not in a relationship sense. So it's cute to see. I'm here for it.
Well, and it's cute to see MiSo be the one to initiate it.
Yeah, finally be a little bit of a girl.
Be be a
flirt.
girlfriend
Yeah.
and like, oh, hey.
Yeah, do something cute, something she's probably dreamt about doing with a guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was sweet. I loved it. I'm glad you brought it up.
He asks if she wants to go on a date the next day, and she's like, I can't. I'm going to be out of town.
Yeah.
I have a family thing.
And he's like, oh, yeah, it's the same trip you take every single year, right? And she goes, yep.
yeah. And then he goes to YooSik.
YooSik.
Again. Our guy.
That poor guy.
Our therapist.
He is on call 24/7.
Mm-hmm. Because he is distraught.
Well, things are going well for YeongJoon at this point, but
Yep.
now YooSik is having problems.
Yeah. He needs somebody to be...
He needs someone this time. He needs the friend.
Right. And what's cute is YeongJoon kind of...
Yeah, he starts
Does
out like,
for a little
yeah,
bit.
I'll listen. You know, you've listened to me all of these years. I'm in a good place. I can listen to you.
I can be there.
And then YooSik says something to the effect of, if you have a beautiful wife, you need to pay respects to your in-laws, you know, because they made her.
So they're the reason that she is there.
Mm-hmm. They've apparently deemed you worthy.
Mm-hmm.
And YooSik is kind of like going down that path. And he realizes YeongJoon is listening a little bit too intently and really just trying to weasel some more advice out of YooSik, that poor guy. But YooSik just leans into it and he's like, you know what? When you meet the in-laws, leave your pride behind because you will have your booty handed to you.
Well, and he's like, I love that he sits there and he's like, how do I get this so that you understand? You're a startup business.
Yeah.
You have nothing. You want them
To buy in.
and you want them to invest and think that you're worth it. So do everything
Grovel.
that's asked. Mm-hmm.
You grovel. You get on your hands and knees and you beg.
Plead.
Please. So the sisters are having their annual beach trip, and PilNam tells MiSo that she feels like her mom, like she's filled that role for her. Proceeds to start criticizing YeongJoon again.
Oh.
And MiSo starts to explain and defend him and say that she doesn't even know him personally to be able to make those types of judgments. And PilNam literally cuts her off mid-sentence, starts talking to their other sister, Mahui. I'm just like, woman, you can dish it out, but you cannot take it.
Yes.
What is your deal?
I don't know. I mean, I think part of it is she does feel like she's her mom and not her sister.
Yeah, which is complicated.
That's a lot of emotion and that's a lot of conflicting feelings that are supposed to be.
And that's something that MiSo didn't ask her to take on.
Mm-hmm.
She's needing a sister, maybe not a mother in this moment.
Well, and neither of her sisters are in relationships. What do they know?
Yeah, they're married to their jobs too.
About, so yeah, why there's that, and I think it, as the show, you know, has gone on, it becomes more and more apparent. All of them are very stunted.
Yeah.
With being in relationships because you're in school and then you're trying to get your job because one of them is like in a urologist's clinic or something like that, and the other one's therapist or psychologist, whatever. Yeah. But like, you don't know how to communicate yourself, so for you to
just
tell
ironic
me,
for a therapist to have problems,
right?
But then again, that's human nature.
Yes, absolutely. It's like her hobby. I think you said earlier, her hobby is let's dish on YeongJoon, whom I've never met.
Yeah, it's getting old, and it's like she's pouring frustrations from other things at him, which isn't really fair. But
no,
and you know, we kind of dig into that more as the episode goes on. But anyway, so the team is on their way to the housewarming at JiAh's, much to Ashley's chagrin. Much to Ashley's
dismay.
Oh, we've been at this too long. And you are tired.
Yeah,
I'm usually the one
so
giggling.
slap happy right now.
So the owner sees them on their way in and actually offers the shared rooftop terrace where JiAh knows GwiNam is going to be lurking. So she tries to get upstairs before everybody else, reroutes them to her apartment so she can get upstairs and warn him.
And they panic.
Yeah.
And that is
kind of cute.
But that's when I don't mind him so much, is when he's like
flustered.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Oh no.
When the persona breaks, just it cracks a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then he's not so insufferable.
Yeah. Because he's a human.
But
there just wasn't enough time.
No, but she is too sweet. JiAh is too sweet to be like, you need to move. You need to get out. Like, there is the emergency.
Yep.
Is here. Like, let's go.
He's like, what's the emergency? Did everyone from work show up? And she's like, how did you know? And they start to panic, but he proceeds to hide under the table
that he picked up off the street.
I'm surprised there wasn't any gum under it, but that's probably an American thing. So the sisters back at the beach house, they're enjoying a Sprite watermelon, which I forgot to prepare today.
That's okay. We can do it next time.
We'll do it next time. They're enjoying a Sprite watermelon when YeongJoon appears with refreshments. Nice and awkward. He loves to show up to places uninvited.
He does. It's kind of just...
He's probably never been told no as a kid.
MiSo notices, and she's just like, she stands up and she's like,
oh boy.
What are you doing? Hi.
Stop doing this.
And because of how they are with each other, they continue to call each other vice chairman and Kimbuso. Yeah. And it's not that they're not wanting to use other expressions. That's just part of it. It's the job. That is a panic. Like, okay, yeah. GwiNam and JiAh having a panic. Like, we've had back-to-back moments of panic here.
Yep.
Oh no. Now I have to deal with my one sister who's something was in her hair when she woke up because
someone peed in her Cheerios.
Honestly, like, good heavens.
Well, YeongJoon tells MiSo that he's planning to try to win over her sisters, and MiSo's just like, good luck. So I think her middle sister, Mahui, she's curious. She doesn't have anything against the guy. She's not heard great things, but she's like, you're here. We'll see.
Yeah, you can tell that she's definitely the romantic of the three.
Yeah, and a bit more moderate about her stance on this guy.
And now that,
you can feel some way about people until they're in front of your face, and you're like, maybe I built this up a little bit too much in my head. Kind of thing. But PilNam is, pissed. She is mad that he's there.
She is,
she's fuming.
She's going to do everything within her power to make him leave.
Yeah. Well, he's even trying to offer, an upscale resort and dinner reservation, and she's just like, no. We have plans. You are not a part of them. Please go home. And she's like, we have a reservation too at this place. And he goes, well, I'll come with you too. And it's this all-you-can-eat crab shack.
Well, and then
she's running him
is
through the ringer.
Insulting him.
Oh, yeah.
She's just being, honestly, she's being pretty horrible.
Oh, yeah, she's terrible.
Awful, because she looks at him, she's like, yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to, because he was looking at the prices, and of course this isn't something he's normally.
He's not familiar with it, no.
But he's not criticizing. He's literally just, curious, because
Teach me your ways.
They make a comment about, how could he make money? How do you make money doing this if it's all you can eat and it's only this much? I think it was supposed to be $18.
Yeah.
And so he's looking at it as the business side, and he's like, how do you make this work? And so then, PilNam's just like,
she's trying so hard to get him to admit that he looks down on their lifestyle, just to confirm
her own suspicions,
her own biases against him.
Yeah.
And so she thinks, surely you think of us as lowly, you're just gonna hurt her anyway, so hurry up and get it over with so we can move on with our lives.
Right. And then MiSo, she just finds ways to explain it to him so she knows that he understands, because she can tell he's just
he's out of his element.
Well, he's out of his element, but he also is teach me. I want to know, so I need the information.
He tries to prove her wrong.
Eat your money's worth.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I like crab. I do. I like crab legs a lot.
Do you?
I do. I think they're awesome. I don't think I could do that version of just
Sucking
it all
the
out.
juices, biting down on the shell. That
I think that's a little much for me.
I'm the type of person where like an eggshell in an egg will make me want to just rip my fingernails off my body. So the idea of biting into a crab shell like that, just it
too much
unleashes something feral inside of me. I have no interest whatsoever. When the first one, he's like, oh, it had eggs, and I just wanted to like throw my phone. It's
very uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable.
But he
leans into it, man.
Get it, my dude. He eats his money's worth.
And then some.
And like makes himself sick, and MiSo's just like, okay, you've had enough. Like, yeah, you don't have to eat
You've
anymore.
eaten your money's worth. It's okay, honey. Let's
breathe.
Yeah.
Drink some water.
It's so funny because when he first has the ramen at her house and he's like, so much sodium on sodium, and he's eating soy sauce crabs like there's no tomorrow. And I'm like, you're gonna have a blood pressure spike like you've never believed.
Experienced. Oh.
But then PilNam does comment on the fact that they call each other vice chairman and secretary came outside of work, and he goes, you make an excellent point. I've actually decided that, she can call me Oppa, and
he's like, right, MiSo?
MiSo is just like, we'll decide these things on our own time. Thank you very much.
Just like, you want him to leave? Why are you calling out stuff that we haven't even like dealt with?
Yeah. She's trying to stir the pot.
Because we know we should. But I'm not ready.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a literal day. Everybody chill.
Calm down.
So next, the sisters go to dig clams. And his reaction to their outfits was so funny. He was like spooked, but also just, what is this fashion?
I don't understand. And let's be real. It is some interesting.
They were a little mismatched.
Now, here's the thing.
But they looked comfortable.
If you're digging for clams, I guess it doesn't really matter as long as it's like not everyday wear. Whatever. I love that they're digging for clams and MiSo calls out her sister. And is like, you need to stop. She just calls her out on her behavior, and I love that she's stepped into that of like, no, you don't. I'm confident in this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't understand these traditions, but he is being so enthusiastic about them and so respectful of this whole weekend.
Because it's for MiSo's happiness.
For MiSo. And he just, I don't know. MiSo gets so charmed by the fact that he's there, and he puts his arm around her, and he's just like, we're here for each other. And PilNam looks like okay, so Maohee is like, oh, that's so sweet.
She's like, I will rip your arms off your body.
PilNam is like, oh, either she's waiting for him to murder her, or PilNam is going to murder him. I don't know. She's looking at him like he might be a serial killer. I don't know. Anyway.
So yes, so for MiSo to call her out.
Yeah. She's being brave little sister, which I don't think PilNam likes very much, but
Hey, you know what? She paid for your schooling.
Yeah, get over it.
Calm down.
Technically, YeongJoon paid for your schooling.
Ooh.
If you want to think about it that way.
Oh, no.
Maybe there's some pride issue there. I don't know. So, GwiNam still just chilling under the table, and under the hot sun being...
Like growling.
I know. I felt so bad. Kinda.
I mean, at this point, we're like...
bed. He can sleep
You decided to jump underneath when JiAh was like, go to your apartment.
Yeah.
Go hide.
Well, the sun is also beating down on the team, and so they're like, we should move the table to some shade. He's panicking under the table, like, what do I do? What do I do? And he just decides to play it off like it's some kind of excellent surprise entrance.
Yeah, because everybody's been running out of ideas. And he's laying there like it's supposed to be seductive.
I
almost.
Know. Well, the way that he flips on his work persona is a little bit disconcerting.
Yeah.
He has multiple personalities. I don't know. It's kind of scary.
Well, and JiAh's trying not to have a panic attack at the same time because she's like,
How do we explain this?
What? The amount of awkward laughing that office does hurts.
So SeRa offers to go get more beer for the group, and while she's out, Secretary Jung Jung he sees that GwiNam's shirt says Korea University.
Yes.
And you're kind of like,
what does that mean? Why
that's
do we
unusual.
care?
But SeRa bumps into her hero man at the store.
Well, 'cause she's eating samples.
Yeah, she is chowing down.
And that ajumma, my goodness, woman, will you calm down? You don't know what people are going to buy if you come at them. Because she's just like, why are you going to eat all those if you're not going to buy?
Yeah.
Listen, honey, you don't know what I do with my spare time.
I'm sampling so I know that I really
Want this
many. But he comes in and helps her save face, and he's like, she tried 3. We're going to buy 1, 2, 3 of these. Have a very good day. And then he very sweetly is like, are you ready to go?
And he's like, let's go.
It's really cute.
Her face, she just like,
the way she munches.
and she just like looks at the lady kind of like, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the little munch, you're like, you are so ridiculous.
I know, but she's so cute.
See, that's the kind of cute that she needs to lean into more, not the baby talk.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's the kind of cute that he enjoys. He sees it. He sees
right,
her for
he
who
knows.
she is.
He knows.
Yeah, and he's very charmed by her, obviously. It's so
It's
sweet.
so awkward, though.
Yeah. I aspire to never be that level of awkward, but it is cute that she found her. Just goes to show you there's someone for everyone.
Where you at, babe?
There's hope.
I'm looking.
So YeongJoon, he dons the clam hunting attire. I mean, he leans in hard.
He does. And the thing is I don't mind his
Visor and
outfit.
all. It's almost more attractive than whatever
The rest of them?
mismatch they have going on. But he looks like an ajumma, which is really funny.
And he's like, let's go.
He's got the visors, the rubber gloves, the overalls.
Mm-hmm. The rake.
Mm-hmm.
He is prepared.
He clearly just went and dropped, $200 at store for all of this
Right?
stuff.
Well, and then MiSo tells her sisters, let's have a competition, and whoever wins has to listen to the other one's wish.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. You have the most competitive person
2 of the most competitive people.
on one team.
Yeah.
The sibling relationship has nothing on the fact of who they are up against.
Yeah. Yep. And they feed off of each other, too.
And then the montage.
That gives me life.
I love when he gets his boot stuck and he's like trying not to fall and pull himself out.
Yeah, the rake. He's hacking at the ground. He has no idea what he's doing.
It's a rock.
So cute.
Oh, he's so precious. Of course they win their
course they
competition
win.
because that's who they are. And they win by a lot.
Yeah.
It's not even a little amount. It's like, no.
There's no competition there. They clearly had more to lose.
Oh, yeah. Well, and what was sweet is when before this whole montage starts, YeongJoon looks at MiSo and he tells her that his tiredness has been washed away. And you're just like, see?
So cute.
Because
she says her wish is that it would be for them to stop disliking him.
yeah, and but that's even referencing the book that she loved, several episodes back of, having your person, and when they give you a hug, you just feel your tiredness wash away, and he's just like, yeah, my tiredness has been washed away.
Aww.
You're just like, you've become so romantic now, and you're really adorable.
Knock it off. MiSo and YeongJoon win. MiSo says that her wish is for them to stop disliking YeongJoon, and PilNam looks pretty annoyed by the request, but YeongJoon says, no, I want you to continue to dislike me if you want to, and you
just watch out for me.
Keep me honest about my feelings for MiSo, and continue to look out for her, because that's who this is all about, is MiSo. And so finally, Maohee sees his effort, but
she's smitten by him.
She appreciates him. She can see the genuine effort, but PilNam still only sees his pedigree. Mm-hmm. And even though I think she can see the effort, she just refuses to acknowledge it.
Well, and especially since what was the middle sister's name? Maohee. She calls herself sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Talking about him, and PilNam's just like,
oh, she mad.
What?
Stop.
How dare you?
I know. She's like, stop encouraging this relationship. it's clearly not good. It's clearly not good. When it's clearly very,
very, very positive.
very positive, very healthy. And she's just
kind of being a brat.
She really is. She's just being older sister at this point, not really being motherly, because there's some spite happening.
Definitely some spite. At least it's not like the brother relationship of spite.
No, it's because she's defending her sibling.
Right, her best interest is what she cares about.
But I don't think she realizes what that is anymore.
Yeah.
Because MiSo's changed. I mean, she's grown as a person.
She has grown a lot recently as well.
Because of YeongJoon. And I think maybe she will start to see that eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So YeongJoon is still suffering from his encounter with the crabs.
Oh, buddy. Indigestion.
Yes. Upset stomach. Indigestion.
Oh, no.
I'm not going to finish that one. Okay, so PilNam actually pricks his finger for the indigestion and says, if you ever have indigestion again, I suppose I could be the one to prick it again. And this is kind of like her first acknowledgement of him as...
In a positive way.
Yeah, as MiSo's boyfriend and not as someone trying to take advantage or anything like that. Just acknowledging they're together. And the way he starts to knead the dough or whatever it is he has.
He's not kneading. That boy is punching. Because he is thrilled. He's yes! That has to be a guy thing.
It must be. Yeah, the happy aggression.
Right.
It was cute.
It's very endearing.
Yeah.
Flashback to our housewarming party.
Yes.
Everybody decides to go to a bar because it's getting
too hot.
a little... Well, doesn't it look... It's like it's going to rain or something.
Oh, yeah.
The weather's changed and we should probably go inside.
But there's not room in her apartment, so they go for round 2.
And so SeRa and Secretary Yang walk up as they're all walking out, and they're just like, well, why did we buy all of this food then? I suppose this can be your present.
Yeah, to not look stingy in front of Secretary Yang.
And so they get to this bar, and the landlady comes in. GwiNam grabs a squid and puts it in front of his face.
Oh my goodness.
See, these are the moments that he's a little bit more enjoyable.
A little more endearing.
Yeah, because you're just like, you're not insufferable right now. You're just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he hides himself with the squid, and JiAh is doing her best to not give him away.
Yeah.
Still,
for some reason,
she's too nice. But they ask him, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm the masked singer, and I'll sing a song for you."
Yeah. I was hoping that they were actually going to give him a moment to sing.
I guess since he actually is a singer.
He is in, 2 p.m. I thought that was kind of a funny little nod. But I actually think Masked Singer was around in Korea a long time before it ever came to the States.
Yes, because Jungkook was on it.
Was he?
Yeah, because they didn't believe that BTS was
could sing, so that was their...
They thought it was all lip sync. And so Jungkook went on, and they didn't recognize him. And then when he took the mask off, they were regretting that, and he was just like, yeah,
Golden
well.
Nana
Nana boo boo.
And now look at them go into the military. I'm sorry, that was too soon.
It'll be too soon for a year and a half.
I know. Secretary Jung is like, okay, you can stop now. I know what you're doing. And GwiNam's like, what?
Hold on, I'm just panicking.
Back up that train a little bit. But he's saying, he references the t-shirt, the efforts to impress him with the song and dance and all this kind of thing. And, how did you find out that Korea University was my alma mater? All these kinds of things. And GwiNam's just like, oh, yeah, okay.
Totally, yeah. I wanted to climb the ladder with you.
I'm glad you connected those dots for me.
Thank you for helping me not look dumb.
I know. So SeRa and Yangchul actually kind of share a moment in the hallway after drinks.
She's a bit drunk. By a bit, I mean very.
She's gone.
She's hilarious in this moment because she looks at him and she's like, stop seducing me.
And he's like, I'm just standing here.
And he just gets this like
Cheesy little
smirk.
grin, yeah.
And he's just, because she's just like, you're seducing me, whatever you do. And then she like walks away and she's, you know, about to fall over. I'm loving her outfit in that one because it's like this red 80s vibe.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
she inadvertently confesses her feelings in front of him.
And she's just like, should I ask him out?
Would you just date me?
No, I'll just wait. And he's behind her and he's
smiling.
gone already. He's like, yeah, I'm there, honey.
Yeah.
I'm there. And she trips because that's what you do.
That's what she does.
Hi. And he catches her. And it's
very heroically.
Her hero.
I know.
Never fails her.
No, he shows up consistently for her. It's sweet.
It's a very cute moment.
He's so smitten with her, and all of her quirkiness charms him. And
that's his cute.
Yeah, and that's just her being her is what he wishes she would just do all the time. But he also sees through her attempts and still thinks it's cute.
Right.
Because she's just a try-hard and she... I don't know. They were made for each other.
It's very adorable.
Yes. So the sisters are enjoying dinner with YeongJoon. They explain this whole tradition is something that they've shared with their father because of a promise they actually made to their mom years and years ago. And we have a flashback that gives us a little bit more context. And they were actually traveling to a singing competition on their mom's birthday. But they stopped to play at the beach for a little bit because it was a long trip. And while they're all sitting on the beach, the girl's father actually lost the car key in the rocks.
Oops.
They end up digging clams together, and their mom is talking to their dad, saying, you know, aren't you worried about the competition? You know, we need to get there. And he says, Michael J. Fox said family is not an important thing, but everything. I thought that was really sweet.
It is so sweet.
Yeah.
Because he was like, no, like, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. But, like, I get to be with my girls, and I haven't been able to do that.
Yeah. I take back my previous comment about him being a deadbeat. Because he clearly wants to be a good dad.
Yes.
He's just been dealt a crappy hand.
And it just doesn't end.
You know, he did his best. He was a single parent. Life was not kind to him. He clearly loved his girls. So I officially rescind that comment.
I'm with you on that. Also, random complete side note. The two actors that play that couple are in Because This Is My First Life.
I wondered if that was them. Okay, because they were so familiar. I've not watched that drama yet. It cycles through my advertisements.
I've seen it twice.
Constantly. And and they are each other's love interests, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I was like, I recognized that the first time I watched this, and then this time I was like, oh yeah, that's because they're in that show together.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of cute. They must have liked their chemistry.
They're cute. Anyway, sorry.
So, no, that was great. So, their mom says that she wants this to be her birthday trip every single year, and that's what they did until she passed away. And then they just continued the tradition specifically for MiSo, since she really doesn't have memories of their mother. Right. And so that's just her way of being able to connect with their mom, which was really sweet.
It is very sweet. And I love YeongJoon's reaction to that, and because he almost feels bad because he's like, oh, I've just encroached on territory that
I did not realize was
not realize. But MiSo ends up telling him, like, no, I'm really glad you are here.
Yeah, it started with his own agenda, but he was able to, you know, convince the sisters that he really isn't a bad guy. He's a good match for her.
Right.
And then...
Well, and she ends up telling him, because they're off by themselves and they're having a conversation. And so she's like, you know, yeah, this is important because I don't have these memories. She's like, and because I've had, you know, a lack of memory. She's like, but I know, like, whatever it is that you have, like, whatever memory or whatever hardship or past thing that you have, like, it's okay for you to take your time for you to tell me because I'm going to be by your side. Like... Yeah. And so it brings out a very sweet moment for them of, this isn't just a, you're just here for when I need you.
Right.
Like, no. Kind of like
it's a
couple episodes ago when she, you know,
Met him halfway.
Met him with the kiss and was just like, no, like when you're ready,
yeah,
I'm here for you. Like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And especially if it's hard and you need to take your time. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, and I also like that she shared that she did have one memory of her mom. Mm-hmm. And that was shortly before she died, when MiSo was playing in the park, and she said she'd often be there, alone while watching the other kids play with their mothers because her mom was in the hospital being sick. But there was one specific day when she actually did see her mom, and they had a great day playing together, and she realized that the reason she was there was because the hospital had said, we don't have options for you anymore, you need to just go home and be with your family. But for MiSo, that was really special because it was one of the last things she actually specifically remembered, something that was hers, of her mom's memory.
Right.
Make me teary.
We flash to the parents.
Well, and SeongYeon, it's just being broody.
Madame Choi is sitting on the couch.
Well, it's kind of the same.
In the same
instance.
And her husband comes in, and she's, again, just wiped. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what are you doing? And she goes, I think it's time to tell the truth.
And you're like, oh, dang, she did know something.
Knew it. SeongYeon is being broody and ridiculous, and
well, he's realizing that MiSo is kind of doubting his memories of things, and or rather his lack thereof of memories, and it's starting to make him question some things, I think. But Madame Choi, like you said, is realizing that everything's kind of unraveling because of MiSo, and decides that it's just time to come clean about everything. So she goes to SeongYeon and is like, don't feel ashamed of anything, but you weren't the one that was kidnapped. And he just like completely comes undone. He's just like a shadow of the man that he was before, because his whole life is essentially a lie. Everything that he's built in terms of his reputation, his muse, like all of these things, it was built off of this experience, this singular experience that he had, and all of that was not even
incorrect.
His.
Yeah.
And so it almost, I don't know, he doesn't feel like anything about himself is real.
Yeah. When he just is like...
But he's still convinced he was that person.
Yeah. Because he walks around the city and he's just like literally a shell.
In a daze, yeah.
Is wandering across the street and almost gets hit by 2 cars because he's not able to process at all.
Yeah.
Anything that's been going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be
a lot.
How do you process that?
I mean, your parents lied to you, and you've hated your brother based on a lie for your entire life. Mm-hmm. And you have no relationship with him. The woman you thought you loved has no real
anything
tie to you.
Yeah.
That you thought that you had. It would be earth-shattering.
Yeah, I was going to say life-altering, because it literally
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he ends up stumbling into the software showcase that YeongJoon and MiSo had left the sister weekend from. Mm-hmm. And he is trying to get answers. He is so very clearly not in the right frame of mind for this conversation, but he's just so far gone, he can't acknowledge that fact.
And even though he's trying to ask for answers, he wouldn't be able to hear them anyway.
No, he's not in any position to be having those kinds of conversations. But he goes up to MiSo and he asks her, point blank, if she agrees that his memories are wrong, and she just kind of stares at him like, I don't know how to answer you right now. What do I do? Yeah. I also don't know how you're going to respond to me disagreeing with you. Mm-hmm. And all of the hullabaloo of the night, there's this magic show that's starting to happen, and these lights are going and everything's kind of turning red, and this performer is descending from the ceiling, and this starts to trigger something in MiSo's memories. She sees the female performer has these red high heels on, and she just gets tossed into this traumatic episode where she's recovering memories.
Not just a memory,
Yeah.
The
Like, whole thing.
the entire night.
The whole shebang is coming back to her.
Oy.
And while she's having this happen, she also has SeongYeon talking about it next to her, which is probably feeding into this whole
Right, it is. She is...
trauma response.
Well, the episode that she is in the middle of, there is no good way to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I think she had the correct response.
To just fall over.
Just faint.
Yeah.
Like, that's... If your eyes aren't open, you can't deal with it.
Can't see it, it's not there.
Well, and then SeongYeon, like, goes over and he's like, "Kimmiso," and YeongJoon, like, flies.
Tackles him.
Throws him into chairs and it was just like, grabs her and is holding her. And he's like, wake up. Kimmiso, wake up, please. Yeah. And the episode ends.
Yep. It's great.
What a cliffhanger to have.
Yes, so she has finally recovered memory. We have our answers. YeongJoon was the oppa. SeongYeon is Delulu, as you would say.
Delulu.
KimMiso. I don't know, man. Sometimes, you know, like YeongJoon said, you dig up the ugly bones. You're not going to always like what you find. Character of the hour.
YeongJoon. I think for me on this one.
Yeah?
He's there constantly. He's willing to put in the work. He's willing to change. He's willing to leave your pride behind.
Yeah.
And he's very open to it. And like telling the sisters, you know what? Yeah, don't like me. Watch out for me. Yeah. Like, protect MiSo because she's the one who matters the most.
Yeah.
And you see the protective side step in, and not just protective in like the I need to physically protect you, but like even like emotional protection.
Yeah. And
just like supportive and just wanting to be there, learning about, you know, why they go to that island every year. And so he's your
character of the hour?
I think he's been the character of the hour for me for a lot of episodes. Who's yours?
This might be a little bit controversial. I feel like mine is PilNam.
Okay.
Because she had such like this deeply seated disdain for YeongJoon. I don't feel like she's had to admit that she's wrong in a lot of scenarios, especially being the oldest sibling. So it takes a lot of guts to admit that you're wrong about something.
It's true.
And she turned that one around pretty quick.
Owned it.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
So even though I still think she has a little ways to go, I have to commend her willingness to change for the sake of her sister. So
I like it.
Cool.
Well, that's episode 10.
Episode 10. Oh, a goodie.
That is a goodie. I think we're about to the mountaintop.
Like what you're hearing? Go ahead and hit that follow button so that you don't miss out on any new episodes. Thanks for listening to the Kdrama Show with Ashley and Kim. We'll see you next time.